this time, I promise.
Okay.
See? I did it.
Well, it's not, the broadcasting happens if you only have one of them. You have to hit that to go back to the...
But it was there, I promise.
Both of them?
Yes.
Okay. I get anxious. Why do I get anxious? Does it matter? Not to me. No one asks me. I don't get paid for this. It's like,
Pretty good, right?
it's like you're the professional person. You know, it's like, you know. But don't overact.
I'm a professional person.
Yes, yeah, that finish like you want.
Well, yeah, it's like a professional cut. I got that.
No, but you can even go like this and still look, you know, it doesn't affect it. Oh, yeah, now you're talking.
I like your hair.
Thank you.
All right, what's this guy? Give Robert applause. He's going to break up for the second half. Then we got Sam, Jimmy, Melissa, Hal, Sharon, Zane, Greg, Mark, Richard, Buford, Bob, Areno.
He called my name.
Hello.
3 brand new poems. This first one is called Fingers.
Ooh.
There are 5 kinds of people in this world. What color is your banner when unfurled? There are thumbs who only want someone to squash, making messes they never ever clean or wash. There are pointers, the dreamers, who cannot be bought. Follow them or not, either way is fraught. There are mocking middlers, anti-disestablishmentarian contrarians. Some look like clowns, some like librarians. There are the 4s who disappear in front of your face, more and more each day in this inhuman race. There are pinkies, the fools who want the world to laugh. They see the cup is 1/4 full, not half. But really, I'm just whipping this out of my behind. Don't hang it in the hall, don't build a steeple. For if humans were the 6-fingered kind, I would tell you that there are 6 kinds of people. This is called Barbaria.
Oh, yeah.
Water is acid. The earth ain't flat. Glass is liquid. And that is that. Brando was gay. Russia weren't commie. Who's your real dad? Go ask mommy. You have no clue what people think of you. Your knowledge of the universe, further still from true. Yet your greatest ignorance by far, and where all worldly discontent breeds, is seeing who you are and knowing your own needs.
Yeah. Who is that man?
And we will finish with pre-existential angst. Don't screw it up, Mom, or we'll never be born. Don't blow this one, Dad. Ain't she sexier than porn? Don't fuck it up, Ma. Don't overanalyze. Don't bungle this, Pa. Keep your eyes tween the thighs. Don't goof it up, Mums. Your divinest dicking yet. Don't drop this one, Pops. You're so stiff. She's so wet. Don't muck it up, Mayor. He's not afraid of your worst. Don't dare air, sweet pear. She's ripe and ready to burst. Don't muff it, me madre. Cryings, crappings, 4 a.m. feedings. Don't pass by, me padre. You deserve so many breedings. Don't hash it, Mummy. A tummy with no baby? Don't bumble this, Daddy. We'll give you a tip. Maybe. Don't mess it up, Rents. This ain't about you. Don't flub this one. We got our own fucking to do. Don't botch this, Rents. We're so pukingly adorable. Don't screw it up. This waiting is deplorable.
Here, here. Oh, yeah. Sam. Is Sam here?
Yeah, I'm here.
Thank you. And this is a new person, ladies and gentlemen. Mark, wait a minute. I forgot to pound the table. That was the one I didn't do.
All right, good. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So I'm usually a rapper. I perform to music, but I'll do something sort of between slam poetry and rap, kind of with the hip hop cadence. So, this first one is called "The Friend." Today I found the friend like a flower in your hair. How did I fail to notice the joy was blooming there? She kissed my eyes and her breath, the rose. The majesty just stirred my soul. I had to laugh like a skipping stone, the awe of silence in a poem. Somehow I forgot you in the turnings of my mind. I found you but can't grasp you. Still I ask you to unwind my tangled life. Take this burning wound and make it whole. I'm coming home and soon I'll know. I found you, friend, I found you. Let the love not fade away. I know you, friend, I know you. It's enough for you to stay. This rind of loneliness, I cast it by the way. In all my expectations, I bid them not to stay. We cannot hold the moment, only find it in our hearts as the pond welcomes the moonlight in its pale celestial arc. Take this gravel that chafes my soul and share with me that golden bowl so fresh with stillness, until breath compels the ripples to dance in shifting forms. From one eternal nature, all the wild cascades are born. I found you, friend, I found you. Let the love not fade away. I know you, friend, I know you. It's enough for you to stay.
Good. You like it.
Okay. I'll do a really short piece and then another one. So this short piece is like water. Water tends to the low places. I too am friends with low places. A stream may end in the muck and mire, but it springs pure from the alpine crags. I don't believe the water tires, or flowing vibrance trends to slack. Water may find stillness, it may find waves, it may bloat the corpse to rot, to pass the graves, but the liquid being lives too on high. In the clouds the water learns to fly. I too bridge earth and sky. Okay, so serendipitously, I have a poem close to about inclusion, so I'll do one of those real quick. Here's the question. What do we want? Let's be clear. In this session, you're my confidant. I say this in a spirit far from nonchalant. I'm as sincere now as a baptismal font. Do we really lust for a Lambo to jaunt, a mansion to haunt, king's ransom to flaunt? I admit it. It's true. Sometimes I do, but this battle for status is a witch's brew. No matter your lavish castle or IQ, there's always someone richer or smarter than you. This automatic habit of dividing into classes is a sad practice that fastens us to ashes. There's no life in it, no enjoyment, no spark, just festering malice on a mattress in the dark. How do we get past this to connection, compassion, the facets of the heart? We need a new approach, radical action, a place to start. I'm convinced the solution is a turn of the mind, a revolution in consciousness that harkens to the times, bringing kindness to prominence, embracing the divine, seeing behind the daily grind our lives are intertwined. When we align, we accomplish the conscience enshrined in the source of our being, the promise of the sublime. We see then the struggle for dominance is blind. The third eye astonishes with the knowledge that humankind is a diaphanous dream in the mind of God. Row, row, row your boat, give captain a nod. We forget though, lost in the facade, illusion and fraud, running roughshod over what's obvious. It's funny this sloppiness, cunning, nauseous naughtiness, like celebrities who debase themselves for the sake of an audience. Let's be more cautious, find the center, the source. Learn from remorse and endorse the flow. The course of life sustains all those who know. Our breath is the domain of the cosmic winds. We're all star stuff. One place to begin, all connected. One people, one kin. A unity, interdependent continuity. Eschewing the label, just one big thing without a second. The self of the world. Thanks.
In the house. Pardon me, I got enthusiastic.
No, not like that.
Karen Melander Magoon.
What?
You're in the house.
I'm in the house.
And then
Hi, well,
Jimmy?
whoever got that ovation.
Jimmy the Hat. James. I know he's here. I saw him a minute ago.
He's coming.
It's all right. Don't worry. Don't rush. We got you. Everything is here.
Okay, I'm here too. You're right.
Evie, we put you on. We put you on. We put you on.
Time's up.
Yes. Yes, we got you. So you're on it. Don't worry about it.
Hey, I'm seriously on the rebound from a very nasty schizo who made me buy her a dress every time we had sex. No free love for her. It's not as if I ripped her off, but for the sake of her returning to her junior high school young adult daughter who hated me, at least she could tell her that she got a new dress from him. Yeah. But she slept with a pit bull and a cat, and I was kind of scared of the cat and allergic to the pit. So when her mom got hit by a bus, she sued Muni and won and got a house in some island in the South Pacific. She was always admiring Samoans, especially the young ones who rode those boats with their 8-pack bellies. She was a femme fatale, a real Gauguin girl. She was a gone girl who loved role play. I hated it. I just wanted us to be us until I got to know her. Then I wanted her to be me, and I'd be her, ex post dipso wacko. Then I could switch roles with her, sort of act her out, and I could show her how I liked it. She caught on too fast to that. Schizos are quick to recognize schizos, and they never, ever like what they see. So,
been there, done that.
When you say, don't touch anything in here, do not forget that you can't go to the bathroom because they will go around trying to find anything that they aren't supposed to touch. I came out once. Well, I did not really come out in San Francisco. But I came out once to find her chewing on the knots on my baseball glove. I decided real fast to get mad at her as if this antique memory meant something to me. I almost cried at my own acting. I felt like a baby. Then I cried. She fell for it. Too bad it prolonged our relationship another 3 months. Come here, crybaby, she would smile, nice and sweet. I'd say, goo. Oh, baby, goo. I figure the way America's going, there won't be many more relationships for babies to take advantage of anymore. Only the rich can afford them, and they're too busy making money and playing with it to enjoy the nuisance of parenting. Rich babies are possessive little toys to them. That you can't spank them. You can't even spank the nanny unless she wants you to. And then the new rich man's game is called Spank the Nanny if the wife can play.
It's a long name.
Gotta get a nanny after 3 months, 3 hours, 3 days, whatever. And then you won't have to worry about changing diapers. Baby's dirty, I know, dear, I can smell. But poor babies are always accidents. Because mainly sex is their major form of entertainment. Make money if you want to have a baby. That way, then they won't eat up your finances. In America, you can just hire a gig wife and pay her by the hour, no benefits. After she gets preggers, you dismiss her, and she gets $600 a month from the government just for having a kid. I know, I picked one up in my taxi. She had 6 kids already, and she was about in her 8th month. She said one more would be enough to live on. Also, her daddy died and left her a big Victorian in Fresno with like 7 or 8 bedrooms, just enough for each kid. Near a college, too. She had it made, but now Trump. She might have to go to live in a mansion in Fresno, okay, but live on food instead of food stamps. She'll be waiting for Trump's harvest baskets. Probably last year's harvest, by the way. So, why do it? Of course, as a poet, like you guys, I'm always ahead of my time. Being a poet and a comedian too, a comic poet or a poetic comedian, it's almost the same. Although, in either case, really, no one gets it. Celibacy eliminates STDs. I thought that was a joke the first time I heard it. But now I think in this new age, it's a serious problem. We never used to think about that in the 60s. In fact, I still got holes in me from all the needles. Not from shooting up or anything like that. It's just those $5 hookers we used to visit down in Nogales. Are we done? Good. Jimmy! Jimmy! Who hasn't been here in a while? Thank God. And now, my co-host and co-conspirator, Melissa Miller. Give her that. Come on, let's wake it up. Ladies and gentlemen, notice the haircut. That was really so. She was. It looks really great. I told her that, and
haircut.
And then it was great.
It was the first time I've ever paid for a haircut in my life.
Brag.
Yeah, that's what they all say, huh?
If I didn't have to pay for it, I wouldn't have. So I'm going to read some poems from my favorite poet. His name is W.B. Keckler, and none of them are titled. I think my answer to the soul is the epidermis cultivated for burn victims in glass vessels. It doesn't really twitch, but continues to expand with no sense of circumstance, but a love of life, like a flute song, for no one but the player, the open sky on a high mesa. It's a net you must learn to cast well so that you can take in small struggling bodies of fish, energy that has grown eyes and fears the cold. I don't want to embellish the way music does, because that's an entirely different path, wherein the singer matches the body's measure to that of nature, marries it. Poets take the other route, work through the holes in its fabric, believing foolishly they can explain shining plumage as thought.
Dog-eared page?
I dog-eared lots of pages.
Okay, tell that. I wanted to express my expression, but you can ignore it.
Go for it. Crickets outside tonight speak to stars over a city's tall stones called skyscrapers. The black chrysanthemum of lonely talk radio opens in millions of rooms inside this neon night, its black petals, insect, stridulation. Moon's carapace shines. Voices call, voices tell all, rub hoarse vocal cords together the way crickets stridulate in blue air. The loneliness has been going on for millions of years. The words to describe it, crickets deep inside the human brain, black shrapnel of the universe left over from the Big Bang. Crickets all night are proof space is empty enough to talk to itself, lonely enough to keep alive, shining black stones that wear their skeletons on the outside. Which Which are the stories you keep in your mind's tight crawl space, small areas that make sense in a damaged map? Each of these stories is a crab that scratches pictorial designs in sand, or sandpiper tracks which confirm to other sandpipers that a ghostly sphere is real. A shell is the appropriate space and shape for mind labyrinth through void. Construct its luminous coils, abalone sheens, or word veneers. Do not merely strew these things on the glitter wheel of cosmos. Then it will be yours no longer, merely an ingredient. All stories and stars achieve entropy, spread out as shining grit eventually underfoot, but sometimes threads ignite even as stories are falling apart, and you can guess.
You're about a minute and a half.
The railroad tracks recede in a pale blue landscape covered with snow and rust. A dark dog lies bisected there. No flies come in winter to fill the cave of his stomach. Crows arrive, hungry, ungainly birds in pristine snow. Are their minds black with self, or white as nature's absence of caring? Soon they leave this dog lantern, white bone of skull eyeless. It lights up abandoned landscape. A trillion sparks of white light are snow feeding a planet, an exploded god eye. Okay, just somebody tell me to stop.
Stop!
Okay.
In the name of love.
Before you break my heart. Think it over.
I remember that song. Let us all stop so she can read this poem.
Plant ghosts signal fractally to us in a primeval wind. Those green vagabonds are like wise men whose motions take years, and we walk away ignorant of what their arms fervently communicate. Plant ghosts move on green tendrils. They sneak under door sills in moonlight, tiny curled vines, slowly moving pebble and boulder alike. Tall bamboo groans, clashes, and mock battles for territories of clouds. Tiny mosses taste animal skulls, and lichens fan over doors left permanently open. A vine spirals a grip about this rotted log as if it would pick it up and throw it. They can entangle an animal, kill by accident, and adjust the good nutrients. They're stone that bends, boogeymen in wind. Plant ghosts leave coiled energies in a vegetative landscape. They are always waving to us. Wind came beforehand, and grasses flicker, seeming to burn the field, but they are the field.
There we go.
B. Kepler. I'll write it on a
She's going to put it on here, and then I'll put it on there, and then everything will be good. We're good.
I understood not, but I'll keep quiet.
Yeah, but it'll be there, and you'll be able to get it.
I'll write it down.
Pair of shoes, I got a lot of soul. I'm a big heel.
Oh.
Hal Robbins, are you in the house? Our mini teacher of the evening. Give it a good round of applause for this man. If you have not heard Hal, you have not heard Hal. And if you have heard Hal, then you have heard Hal. But if you haven't,
yay, Hal! Woo-hoo.
Well, the subject is inclusion. I'm going to say maybe a third of the following poem, because there's just not room to say it at sacred grounds. The part I'm not going to say is the most offensive part of the poem, but it should be heard. The implication is that to the narrator in the 19th century,
love being frustrated by economic and social reasons causes a turning into misogyny, into racism, and then into aggressive industry of subjugating nature and war. I wish I could talk more about it, but I've got to get going because of the time factor.
Thank you, Harry.
Locksley Hall by Alfred Lord Tennyson. Comrades, leave me here a little, while as yet 'tis early morn. Leave me here, and when you want me, sound upon the bugle horn. 'Tis the place, and all about me, as of old the curlews call. Dreary gleams upon the moorland, flying over Locksley Hall. Locksley Hall that in the distance overlooks the sandy tracts and the hollow ocean ridges roaring into cataracts. Many a night from yonder ivy casement ere I took my rest, did I look on great Orion sloping slowly toward the west. Many a night I saw the Pleiads rising through the mellow shade, glitter like a string of fireflies tangled in a silver braid. Here about the beach I wandered, nurturing a youth sublime with the fairy tales of science and the long result of time, when the centuries behind me like a fruitful land reposed. Then I clung to all the present for the promise that it closed. Then I dipped into the future, far as human eye could see, saw the vision of the world and all the wonder that would be. In the spring a fuller crimson comes upon the robin's breast. In the spring the wanton lapwing gets himself another crest. In the spring the livelier iris changes on the burnished dove. In the spring a young man's fancy lightly turns to thoughts of love. Then her cheek was pale and thinner than should be for one so young, and her eyes on all my motions with a mute observance hung. And I said, my cousin Amy, speak the truth, and speak to me. Trust me, cousin, all the fullness of my being sets to thee. On her pallid cheek and forehead came a color and a light as I have seen the rosy red flushing in the northern night. And she turned, her bosom shaken with a sudden storm of sighs, all the spirit swiftly dawning in the dark of hazel eyes, saying, I have hid my feelings, fearing they should do me wrong, saying, dost thou love me, cousin? Weeping, I have loved thee long. Love took up the glass of time and turned it in his glowing hands. Every moment, lightly shaken, ran itself in golden sands. Love took up the harp of life and smote the strings with all his might, smote the chord of self, which, trembling, passed in music out of sight. Many a morning on the moorland we would watch the stately ships, and our hearts would race together at the touching of the lips. Many an evening by the water we would hear the copses ring, and her whisper thronged my pulses with the fullness of the spring. Oh, my cousin, shallow-hearted. Oh, my Amy, mine no more. Oh, the dreary, dreary moorland. Oh, the barren, barren shore. Falser than all fancy fathoms, falser than all songs have sung, puppet to a father's threat, and servile to a shrewish tongue. Is it wrong to wish thee happy, having known me, to decline on a lower range of feelings and a narrower heart than mine? But it shall be. Thou shalt lower to his level day by day what is fine within thee, growing coarse to sympathize with clay. As the husband is, the wife is. Thou art mated with a clown, and the grossness of his nature will have weight to drag thee down. He shall hold thee when his passion shall have spent its novel course, something better than his dog, a little dearer than his horse. What is this? His eyes are weary. Think not they are glazed with wine. Go to him, it is thy duty. Kiss him, take his hand in thine. It may be my lord is weary, that his brain is overwrought. Soothe him with thy finer fancy, touch him with thy lighter thought. He will answer to the purpose, easy things to understand. Better thou wert dead before me, though I slew thee with my hand. Better thou and I were perished, hidden from the heart's disgrace, rolled in one another's arms, and silent in a last embrace. Cursed be the social wants that sin against the strength of youth. Cursed be the social lies that warp us from the living truth. Cursed be the sickly forms that err from honest nature's rule. Cursed be the gold that gilds the straitened forehead of the fool. Well, 'tis well that I should bluster. Hadst thou less unworthy proved, would to God, for I had loved thee more than ever wife was loved. Am I mad that I should cherish that which bears but bitter fruit? I will pluck it from my bosom, though my heart be at the root. Never, though my mortal summers to such lengths of years should come, as the many-wintered crow that leads the clanging rookery home. Where is comfort in division of the records of the mind? Can I part her from herself and love her as I knew her, kind? I remember one that perished. Sweetly did she speak and move. Such a one do I remember, whom to look at was to love. Shall I think of her as dead and love her for the love she bore? No, she never loved me truly. Love is love forevermore. Comfort, comfort, scorned of devils. Here is truth the poet sings, that a sorrow's crown of sorrow is remembering happier things. Drug thy memories lest thou learn it, lest thy heart be put to proof in the dead unhappy night, and when the rain is on the roof. Like a dog he hunts in dreams, and thou art staring at the wall, where the dying night lamp flickers, and the shadows rise and fall. Then a hand shall pass before thee, pointing to his drunken sleep, to thy widowed marriage pillows, to the tears that thou shalt weep. Thou shalt hear the never, never whispered by the phantom years, and a sound from out the distance in the ringing of thine ears, and an eye shall vex thee, looking ancient kindness on thy pain. Turn thee on thy pillow, get thee to thy rest again. Nay, but nature brings thee solace, for a newer voice will cry. 'Tis a purer life than thine, a lip to drain thy troubles dry. Baby lips will laugh me down, my latest rival brings thee rest. Baby fingers, waxen touches, push me from the mother's breast. Oh, the child too clothes the father with a dearness not his due. Half is thine, and half is his, it will be worthy of the two. Oh, I see thee, old and formal, playing out thy petty part with a little horde of maxims, preaching down a daughter's heart. They were dangerous guides, the feelings. She herself was not exempt. Truly, she herself had suffered. Perish in thy self-contempt. Overlive it, lower yet. Be happy, wherefore should I care? I myself must mix with action, lest I wither by despair. What is it that I should turn to, lighting upon days like these? Every door is barred with gold, and opens but to golden keys. Every gate is thronged with suitors, all the markets overflow. I had but an angry fancy. What is it that I should do? I had been content to perish, falling on the foeman's ground, where the ranks are rolled in vapor and the waters laid with sound. But the jingling of the guinea helps the hurt that honor feels, and the nations do but bluster, snarling at each other's heels. Can I but relive in earnest? Help me turn that earlier page. Hide me from my deep emotion. O thou wondrous mother age, make me feel the wild pulsation that I knew before the strife, when I heard my days before me, and the tumult of my life, yearning for the large excitement that the coming years would yield, eager-hearted as a boy, when first he leaves his father's field. And at night, along the dusty highway, near and nearer drawn, sees in heaven the lights of London, flaring like a dreary dawn, and his spirit leaps within him to be gone before him then. Underneath those lights he looks at, in among the swarms of men. Men, the workers, men, my brothers, ever reaping something new, that which they have done, but earnest of the things which they shall do. For I dipped into the future, far as human eye could see, saw the vision of the world and all the wonder that would be, saw the heavens fill with commerce, argosies of magic sails, pilots of the purple twilight dropping down with costly bales, heard the heavens fill with shouting, and there rained a ghastly dew from the nation's airy navies grappling in the central blue. Far along the world-wide whisper of the south wind rushing warm, with the standards of the peoples plunging through the thunderstorm, till the war drum throbbed no longer, and the battle flags were furled in the Parliament of Man, the Federation of the World. There the common sense of most shall hold a fretful realm in awe, and the kindly earth shall slumber, lapped in universal law. So I triumphed, ere my passion, sweeping through me, left me dry, left me with a palsied heart, and left me with the jaundiced eye. I, to which all order festers, all things here are out of joint. Science moves but slowly, slowly, creeping on from point to point. Slowly comes a hungry people, as a lion creeping nigher glares at one who nods and winks beside a slowly dying fire. Yet I doubt not through the ages one unceasing purpose runs, that the thoughts of men are widened with the progress of the suns. What is that to him who reaps not harvest of his youthful joys, though the deep heart of existence beat forever like a boy's? Knowledge comes, but wisdom lingers, and I linger on the shore, and the individual withers, and the world is more and more. Knowledge comes, but wisdom lingers, and he bears a laden crest, full of sad experience, moving toward the stillness of his rest.
Bravo, Robin! All right. Sharon, come forth. Or fifth. Then we have Zane, Greg, Mark, Richard, Karen, Evie, and Buford, our clincher, closer, super duper bulldozer. Should he be as patient and wild as we want?
Sharon!
Here's Kansas City Kid. The title of it is You Don't Know Who the I Am. My mom worked at the Blue Room and saw and knew many greats. Not a week went by that someone famous didn't cross our paths on or away from the club. My stepfather, raised in Chicago, played jazz guitar with Nat King Cole's brother and Dinah Washington. So he knew it was coming. He had had asthma since he was 3 days old, and the doctor gave him the ultimatum: you cannot spend another winter in Chicago and stay healthy. Well, he searched around and he found a gig in Kansas City, the Blue Room. The story starts here, a love story. He moves to Colorado, writes her every day, and the proposal comes and she moves. Their life there starts anew. The Sunday before she leaves, a big party at the Blue Room, 30 of her girlfriends, live music, Charlie Parker, Dizzy Gillespie, Lester Young, her running buddies. As time goes on, they establish themselves He becomes one of the first group of black realtors, and she becomes the first black lab tech in Denver. As the tradition in all black communities, if you have a relative, a friend of a friend, the doors are open when you are in town. Stop in, eat, come over, cards, music, dance, cook. We are family. One Saturday the phone rings, Mom picks it up and says, okay, let me see. Sharon K., do you want to go downtown? Yes, ma'am. The cab picks me up, and downtown, my favorite lady and I go shopping. Newsteaders, a high-end store, white gloves, up to the 4th floor. Couture salon, nothing on the floor, a few tea stands. Up to the desk, kidney-shaped. Microphone on it. And she calls, Mrs. Shepherd, are you here? Can you come to the front desk? She comes to the desk and she looks at us and she says, can I help you? Something in a cocktail dress, some furs, and some formal gowns. She says, oh, we might have one dress over in the corner. There she is in her black dress, black shoes, gold charm bracelets jingling, and looking us up and down. There she is with her thin chicken lips, with a slit of red lipstick, and she's still looking us up and down. There's no reason to look us up and down. I am pressed. I've got my petticoat starched. I've got my black patent Mary Janes on. I've got on my Florence Eisman smock dress and white gloves, and I am cute. My companion has on a black linen suit, black and white, spectator pumps, a white straw bag, and white gloves, and a white straw hat. We are clean as a whitefish and cleaner than the Board of Health. The sales lady sneers at us and says, I might have one, that's all I have. Well, my companion has had enough. You don't know who the fuck I am, do you? Gasp. These are words just not said, especially by a woman, in 1949. She gasps again, and she looks up. Deep voice behind us. Miss Washington, I know who the fuck you are. It's Myron Newstead, the grandson of the founder of the store. He moves her away, and he loved the black jazz clubs in Denver. He motions for the youngest salesperson on the floor to come help us. Back to the dressing room, and here we go. The room is full of mirrors, and we are ready to shop. Salespeople are flying on the floor. Seamstresses are coming up and down, getting things ready. Cocktail dresses, suits, furs, gloves, shoes. Time for lunch. Fancy club sandwiches. It's 1949. Lemonade for me and a bottle of whiskey from his office. And they are having a ball. One of the salespeople says, aren't you Mrs. Todd's daughter? Yes. From the children's floor comes the sales lady. She says, I know you. And Dinah says, do you know her sizes? She says, yes. Up and down she goes. Oh, thank you. Dinah says, sure, ma'am. Do you want me to bring you some things? Of course. More things. And then it's time to go home. Things are being piled up on the desk. They're going into boxes. Some things are going to be sent. Some are going to be taken. And as the day progressed and everything was done, hangers of clothes, singing, Dinah singing, and finally, as we get ready to go, Myron calls for his chauffeur, who's in total livery, and you can see your face in his boots. Here we go. They call her accountant. Everything's okay. All saleswomen are lined up to thank her as if she's the queen. The chauffeur, the doorman, they all go, and all of the ladies kissed us goodbye. And as we walk to the elevator, Myron and Diane looked at each other and said, "Do you think they know who the fuck you are now?"
And she's coming out with a book. This is the material she's going to be putting in her book. So she's gonna tell us all about it when it's time. Zane, kindly come forward, Zane. Where'd my pen go? And then we got Greg and Mark, Richard, Karen, Evie in Buford. There we go.
Hi there, yo. Thank you for being here. So, do you guys want to hear some like kind of cool news? Come on. Yeah. I got like, so I don't know, I write a lot and stuff, but I finally got my shit together and like got like a little manuscript thing, and I sent it off to this like chapbook contest, and so it's like very scary, but I'm excited. Oh, that's not it.
I know, but I'm like, this is a book of his, and it's here, one of the prizes.
Oh yeah. This little like older zine. I like chopped up this like self-help book that was like in my grandma's apartment, and I got to go through
you
all of
mentioned
it.
her right here, page 5.
Yeah. So anyway, I got some words for y'all. That's all right. In the morning, crushing weightlessness, I'm sinking towards the ceiling, can't get that piano out of my head. I've got carpet just under the first couple layers of skin, and it's so itchy and uncomfortable. Human remains and linen. The art museum drowned happiness. It was so beautiful. I didn't know what to do with my fingers when it happened. No one can scream. The harmonicas were too loud. It was such a windy day inside. White t-shirts, white t-shirts, white t-shirts. We think salt and white t-shirts because the dirt lasts so long. Car alarm, car alarm, car alarm, car alarm. Yeah, that's the first one. So yeah, I don't know if y'all know, no, you're good. I've hinted towards it, but right now I have like an injury on my foot, and it looks like I'm fine. Like I like walk around, I have both my shoes on and whatnot, but I have this Lisfranc injury. Basically, I got it from skateboarding. Kind of like the weight of like 2 stories, like down to the ground. It like shifted my foot, and like 2 of my bones are away from each other, and like I've been separated from my passion, and like my livelihood, and like my like very like true community and friends for the past 4.5 months, and it's like the longest that I've been away from skateboarding since I've started skateboarding, which is longer than I've not been skateboarding, if that makes sense. So yeah, so it's been like kind of like a tough like few months or whatever, like just like navigating that. And so
tell 2 stories.
Yeah, so I don't know, y'all been to Powell Bart? Powell Bart Station?
Powell Street Bart Station.
Yeah, Powell Street Bart Station. I was trying to do like the last trick for this video part that I've been working on for the past year or so, and basically like we're like up on the street, like from there onto a metal structure down to like the bricks at the bottom. And so I don't know, it's just like it's cool. I figured out like where like my physical limitations are, and so that's cool and whatnot. But so yeah, I don't know, I've just been like navigating that, and so this is a poem about that. It's called Liz Frank. I've been scanning dust and spitting on the sidewalk, reading the puddle like Rorschach test. I'm spread out today in all directions. Can't quit smoking, so I give up and try again. Hide from blue sky like it had no right to ever open up. Yellow is yellow is yellow is yellow, and I wish I was insert here, but the pipes are getting clogged, and I wish I could offer up these lungs, bit fingernails, bloody organs, or my rough palms up to the sky in a trade for 1 good left foot or 2 less torn ligaments. Oh, how well I can walk on all of this ripped and broken. Oh, how dramatic and lifeless this waft upstream, one sagging paddle that Doc wants to take away. I forget that I am actually above water, and sunshine is love, and I forget about any other old want. I make a habit out of withdrawals and try to cover up my red defeat. stomping alongside the side of the road, hating the white out of me. No one knew bicycle tires could fit inside of my skull, but the cart in the spokes is hounding the excitement out of any type of spinning. The racket is getting out of hand, and I'm out of hands, and I'm out of hands, and I'm out of hand, and these hands don't hold anything right. I'm right. These hands, I'm handing away all of it. I promise. I mean, I'm not. No, this pinky isn't broken. Just my foot. I'm broken. I'm bricking. Ah, so glorious. I pretending myself out of this butterfly wing grief and propel myself into sky made out of only shards of stained glass. How cutting and green and holy. It's such a screwdriver through my hands. False crucifixion. I'm out of options. No, I'm not. No, I'm not out of coffee. Yellow is yellow, but I'm diving deeper into blue until I am only recognized by the bubbles to the surface of the bass drum booming through the coral. I know the skyscrapers don't love me. They only want falling or sturdy. I don't know. They've never gotten back to me. I mean, how can I peel back this skin and call it art for you? I don't know how to imagine anyone else's lives, so how could I talk about their insides or their hair? Thank you.
Thank you, Zane. Greg Pond! It's Greg Pond in the house. Why can't it be green courtesy telephone or
It's always
chartreuse? You know, they're always. I don't understand that. I never understood that. My mom would never explain it to me. Why was that? All right. First and foremost, we have an announcement. Oh, yes. Okay, sorry.
Next Tuesday, I am putting, with a group of people, putting on a cultural event at the Bayview Library, right in the corner of 3rd Street and Revere. And it's called Say It Loud. It will feature poetry and African drum and flute and dance. And it's free.
So you want to pass those around?
Yeah, there's some. I don't know if I have enough for everyone.
Well, I'm going to hold on to one here, but then I'm going to pass it. Take it if you're really thinking about going, because he doesn't have enough for everybody.
Yeah,
All right, thank you. All right.
Who wants?
I'm going to hold on to one of those.
Bayview, yes, Bayview Library. Next to the, yeah.
6 o'clock.
13th, yes. March 13th. Yeah, give me that. Okay. An innocent stare. An innocent stare. An innocent stare lasting a little longer than safe. Didn't escape unnoticed and was taken as a dare. The victim, very vulnerable and obviously gay, surrounded by 6 eyes suddenly up in his face. Thug rugged with feral hormones sensing prey, liquored up and blunted, macho arrogance on display. An innocent eye, a stare too long, challenged an unspoken creed he never understood, nor took the time to believe. Soon reduced to crawl on the raw of his knees. Cornered in the alley where the deepest walls meet, victimized, terrorized, and blamed. The tragedy of an innocent stare that too long in the wrong place remained. Having done the deed with no time for remorse, they exchanged guilt for rage, traded compassion for brute force. Not enough to just defile, they went over the edge, going totally buck wild, beating him down to within an eyelash of his life. An hour later he lay, barely breathing, battered, broken, bloody and maimed. As they went laughing on their merry way, innocently hiding, 6 hands stained, and tainted the shade of a night without shame.
That's from his book, Black and Blue, in case you want to know.
Thank you. Thank you.
I should know.
the day before the revolution begins. Today is the day before we grab the reins, last chance to relax and catch our breath. Because when tomorrow comes to be, we'd better be ready to go to the edge in defense of what we believe. We'll seize the day after we catch some Z's, some downtime, maybe 40 winks. But we'll wake up totally woke, down for the cause and ready to think of how we'll get this done. Do we choose the bullet, the ballot, or both to get the battle won? Let's get some rest so we'll be at our best, though we may still turn and toss, sleep deprived and bleary-eyed like people oppressed and lost, hoping that whatever we get will prove to be enough to gain sufficient strength to uncover the covers that smother us, where we discover the dreams that are buried under us. Let's stay invested, connected, and alert. Recognize, galvanize, organize. Let's work to fight the foes of justice and freedom so we can erect our own monuments and bridges that span across the sky, or simply burn down the ones that cross or block our paths in the flames of the fire next time.
Yeah. Big fun in his book. All right. You've heard his name, and now you'll see the same. Mr. Mark, will you kindly come forward, please, and declaim your declamities?
Well, my calamity is old Jane's well, think it over. Hasn't she been good to me? And you think it over. Hasn't she been kindly and true? Stop! Okay, I always listen to what I say. Believe that, and I have a bridge to read to you. Where was I before I so rudely interrupted myself? I was reading from this book about how many moons ago, I don't know. Made a big scene. Now I'm back.
Welcome back.
Not to be obscene. Well, thanks a lot. I'll pay you later.
Don't be obscene, be heard.
I'm a real glassy guy. That's why I'm going to stem the tide, put these on, even though there's only one. Why worry when it will get weirder? What happens when ducks fly upside down?
What?
Well, they quack up, of course. Come on.
They what happens?
They quack up. Grammar school. Come on, kids.
They quack up, of course.
Yeah, they do that too. Naked masks. Put them on and take them off. Take it all off. Luigi Pirandello. Quiet, please. Irish Verse and Anthology. 3 books for sale. I ain't going to tell you about that. I'm going to read something from there. Then I'm going to read something from here. If I don't run out of time farting around. Because we're having a ball. I only have poets sign this, so if you want to initial it, there might be some room. After I do this, you might want to get the broom. Why was the broom late for work? Because he overswept. He's still sweeping. Now wake up and smell there's no vermin in that sermon, sir. Heal. All you got to do is send $20 to the... What did the preacher say to the zealot? I second that devotion. What do you want for nothing? Sam sung the wrong song on my smell phone. Just ice takes so long. Jersey, when the power goes out, there's a drought. That's what it's all about. I'm from Nuke. Secret Agent Man. This is from a book called Snipers, Laughter, and Death. Vietnam poem. Then I'll get real maudlin. No, I'll just keep reading mine. It's a little too close to the best. I almost forgot. But that's okay. We always have the eternal war going on. This one's called, let's see, what did I call it? Anti-Rich, or Uncle Scan, Dues, or Back Alley Blues. In downtown anywhere, you can hear them all stare, whether or not they care. where sewer roaches are as big as mice and the mice big as rats. And the wildcats better look out for the rats in any town ghetto. Any tortilla flats. Well, I read about the summer of love when we get the bummer of see that for home? It's just a chunk. Dump. How to plant liquid amber. No one wants to be with me when they hear my history. How about thee? Oh yeah, says you know.
We'll see, we'll see.
Is this a funeral? What's going on here? Wow.
We just got the news.
Oh, it's so heavy.
We're stunned.
Yeah, well, welcome to the club, bub. All right, just for that, I'm going to read some real stupid stuff now. Yeah, huh? Hey, you know, if you want to talk amongst yourself, I can give you the mic. Because that's usually my my job over there, is interrupting and having too much fun. But, you know. Like I said, why worry when it will get weirder? I won't read the dedication or the acknowledgments. I'll just read Secret Agent Man. And, see what the hell comes after that. I got about 2 seconds left. Secret Agent Man would spell Sam in a sort of way. S-A-M, the first 3 letters. Is this off? It seemed that no matter how hard I tried, I still screwed up. I wanted to succeed, even excel so badly. I even studied the Marine guidebook before I left for boot camp. But I was still the first turd in our platoon to make a major mistake. Major. I dropped my rifle, and then I had to get the hook. Shall I finish it? No.
Do something really short.
Okay, I'll do one of my own poems, real quick. Out of this, this mortal mess. Coffee on the corner. For the early riser, we looked each other within dull surpriser. Sir, who did I think I was to reappraise her fur? Did I recognize her? Were we now both wiser? Won't wield many lies, sir. I've spent some time in store. I'd like to hear her purr and to feel that fine fur. Just forget stir. We're just having fun. Anybody on a mission list? I will thank you.
Now, is there another Richard here?
No, that's me. He gave me his time. I'm
Oh!
going to give it back. That's the guy with the guitar. He's such a humble guy. I'm going to give it back because I'm going over so well like a lead balloon.
Oh, he didn't. I didn't know that.
No, I know. He didn't come up and tell you, so you don't know if I'm making it up. I could be full of blimey.
Well, you know.
Well, you know.
Karen, Melander, Magoon. And then we got Evie and Buford. Is Buford still here?
Oh, my God.
Okay, then we don't have to worry about Karen, then Evie. And then we take care of these beautiful, wonderful prizes designed with your mind in mind, as I like to say.
Thank you all for being here. Okay, I'm going to read 2 things that just kind of were random selections. This is about my grandson when he was in 1st grade, I think. Anyway, papers, a little boy from class 1A. Papers, crayon drawings, a boat, a turtle, colors, a happy boy, a green and yellow sky on the kitchen shelf next to a yellow tennis ball. Wraps of imagination, a 6-year-old's fantasy inscribed now with Maury 2A, scratched to 1A, identification, correction by a little boy. And this is a relatively short poem, but I'm always worrying about terrorism creates terrorism. You know, it just kind of keeps cycling itself. And
it's terrifying.
Yes, it's terrifying, right. Terror walks the streets. Terror walks the streets, she who is reborn in vengeance. Memory is terror's mother, born eternally in loss, suckled with the blood of fallen angels, wrapped in sorrow, rocked in grief, cradled in steel arms of cold and bitter memory of terror. I've worked for years in a retirement home, and I'm always writing poems about these lovely people. And some have dementia, some don't. They are there for various reasons, disablement, age, whatever. So I'm just going to read you a few, and I'm going to leave this. It does have a blank page. These are my first draft, putting together, publishing my little...
She'll sign it, though. We'll make it twice as valuable
maybe
as the
wait
price.
until it's really expensive. So
Yeah, well, yeah.
Are you a manager or a man?
Yes.
Who makes the sky? She tells me the stars are windows or slits in the sky to open up steam in the pie of the sky. I ask her who is baking the sky. She says all of us. And sometimes our wars bake the sky. It's interesting. Okay, I'm just sort of flipping through. Morning. The room is light, yet quiet. Two are blind, one is deaf, one nearly so. Hands rest gently on laps as feet hang under the wheelchair supports, waiting to be placed correctly. Some wander, some read their books or try to help another escape dreams. All are family, a family of memories, old and new, seeking to remember or to forget memories. The garden silence. The wind is caught spinning in the garden where someone walks silently, soul reflecting scattered thoughts as the dappled clouds walk silently against the blue afternoon. An orange moth dive bombs through the silent air, creating her own space. The brown squirrel balances with his furry tail as long as his body trails along the fence behind him, then curling, disappearing into the same afternoon. Steel automobiles seem to observe disinterestedly as the squirrel with curled tail reappears among the flowers, scampers through the dry grass to join the spinning wind in silent dance. Remembering. He stands and cannot move. He tries to remember something from another time. It seems like a sad moment. He says 2 or 3. He says maybe someone was drunk. He stops. He stands at his walker and cannot move. He says there are pieces. It's all loose. I wait. I tell him perhaps it will come back if it's important. Memory is elusive. Perhaps we do not want to remember. He says it was a long time ago. I don't know where. I don't know anymore. It is there, but in pieces. And then this is one that the person to whom I dedicated this, who started All of Age, for some reason he liked this. So I don't know why I cry. I just do. I want to know why I'm here. I want to do something. I do things. I do. Was I bad? I never hurt anyone. Why am I crying? When I want to do something, I just do it. Now I don't know. I don't know where I am. I don't know where I am going. I feel like I can do something, but I can't. Where do I belong? Do I know you? I want to go home. Where is home?
Thank you, Karen. We don't really.
Did you? No?
No, we got another.
I was going to tell you, give me a ring.
Well, it's 10 till 10 right now.
Oh.
Okay. Okay. Good.
Did you ever know
Go ahead.
the Lady Luann? Did you ever see her smile? Did you ever see the Lady Luann? How that lady could beguile. Her hair the color of lipstick, her lips the color of night. How that lady could techno hours and hours in the disco light. Did you ever know the Lady Luann? Did you ever see her smile? Did you ever see the Lady Luann? How that lady could beguile. Stiletto boots decked with diamonds, velour and vinyl stretched tight. Rings of silver from ears to nose, tinkling soft in the night's delight. Did you ever see the Lady Luann? Did you ever see her smile? Well, did you ever know that lady, Lauren? How the lady could beguile. Today she's got a PhD from Princeton in zoology. Now she rides amphibians down the Nile. And did you ever see that lady, Luann, riding on a crocodile? Did you ever find that lady, Luann, riding up and down the Nile, riding on a crocodile? How that crocodile would smile.
And then we'll take care of these beautiful, wonderful prizes, like I like to say, are designed with your minds in mind.
Hi. In the interest of time, I'm just going to read one short thing.
Thank you so much. And he'll help you out there with that. We'll get you,
Okay.
and everything was perfect.
That's
and
excellent.
wonderful.
Oh,
Yeah. Whoa.
okay. Sort of on a different note, I was going to read some other things, but I want to read this for someone I know who's out in the streets tonight. And I work with a group of people, folks who are outside or at risk situations. And Ferminita. Yeah. Did someone say, oh, Ferminita?
Yeah, we know her. We know someone by that name.
Ferminita Lopez?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. She's friends of friends. That's, we met her several times.
She's
over the years.
68. Would you
Yeah,
say?
she looks, yes, yeah.
Okay.
We all are.
Okay. Yeah.
Speak for myself.
No, the thing is, she's 68. She has cellulitis. She's asthmatic, and she's in the street. And that's because, I don't know, we should all be aware of this. There's this new speculator in town, or not so new. Yeah. If anyone mentions that, oh, the property manager is Green Tree Properties, they're snakes.
Green tree.
Green Tree.
Green tree?
Green Tree.
Green tree.
Green.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I said, just a nice green tree.
Yeah.
Jolly.
Moldy tree.
Yeah. Blocks at a time, I mean, it's really, it's big. So that's why Ferminita, after many years in her small apartment.
Is this the 100-year-old woman?
No, no.
Oh,
no.
yeah.
68.
Yeah, this one's 68. Now, so she was in a shelter for a while anyway, but the other night, she's been, since last week, I thought I would see her this evening, that's why I'm sort of a little bit, she left her storage key for me, and I was told, oh, but she has, it's a double, and I just, anyway, of course that first night not in the shelter, and the chairs here are more comfortable than the chairs which are the beds in the shelter, but she lost that. That big night of rain, what was that, last week before?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was the first night that she was outside. I just, anyway, so I wrote to a series of monologues through this whole collection of people that I know, and this is Ferminita introducing herself, I hope. Come on, Ferminita. So I'm going to read it from my phone. I'm so hip. This is some modern, yeah. Okay. Okay. I am Ferminita. I will pray for you. You always see me wearing anything gold, lame or otherwise, salvation or other giveaways. I wear gold, God's color. I am a minister. I listen to the Holy One. We talk. I will pray for you. Give me your hand. I am Ferminita. One day I returned to Puerto Rico, said goodbye to those I needed to. Now I'm inside, can't really walk. The landlord always at the door, want to get out, but my feet can't fit in my shoes. The swelling, more swelling, but I won't bore you with this business. This is why you haven't heard, why you haven't seen me here at the church. I have connections. The other day, I was telling God to watch over you. Let's watch over you. Sounds like the feminine to you. Oh, that's it, folks.
Oh, okay.
The one is that's all, folks.
Yeah. So I'm going to take care of these now. Thank you for that. Thank you for being patient and understanding. And I'm going to reintroduce you that and shuffle those and Man and Superman, The Good Woman of Shezwan by Bertolt Brecht. We got some Bertolt Brecht here. Where did my glasses go? Contemporary American Poetry, The Balcony, Jean Genet, Heaven is All Goodbyes, The Pocket Series, number 61 by Tongo Eisen Martin, Time, Dreams, and Other Poems in the Age Song Community by Karen Melander Lagoon. We have Boulder Canyon, Authentic Foods, Pumpkin Pie Flavored Kettle Cooked Potato Chips.
Pumpkin pie flavor? Whose idea was that?
It's a wonderful guy. PG Wodenhouse, Marat Saab. We got Zane's book, and there's other things here. We got the co-pilot, which is right here. Choose the theme, the keynote, mini feature, and the last word. Shovel them cards.
I'm shuffling.
He's shuffling them cards.
Okay, drum roll, please.